I come here a lot, so what y'all are seeing I'm familiar with.
Perfection is a lie, or at least an interruption. Now hold
This is my favorite part of coming here.
I'm not saying perfect except
I'm gonna write one real quick since it will be my first time. Grab a paper, write a positive message, something kind, uplifting or inspiring. Leave it on the desk or in the notes line. Take a message that speaks to you if you need it.
I wanna sing a song worth singing.
How much is this? $350. That's not the point. Hello. How do you even like work stuff like this? Actually, like, look at this. Just got boot of the month. I don't know if it's because the queen just stepped in it or.
Reformation, but the list goes on forever for all the ways I could be better in my mind.
This is my setup. If y'all be wondering, like, I wonder how she records her YouTube videos. This is how I do it. Mic check, mic check. Mic check, mic check. Hold on. No, because I actually do be checking the mic when I do these. Let's see. Big Blend in the building. I already told y'all. Now, from now on, y'all need to see where, like, look at this. Maybe I can show y'all around a little bit. I had this background in mind when I was, like, scoping around. It's actually fire. Hi, guys. Oh, my goodness. What did I tell y'all about me talking to you guys being a special occasion? This is not just you clicking on a YouTube video. This is a special occasion. If you are new here, my name is Ite, and I am an aspiring disciple, servant, foreigner. I don't know. I'm an aspiring everything. I literally want to be everything and everywhere until I find the little perfect introduction. That's what we're going with. Oh, I'm an aspiring wanderer, or I am a wanderer, maybe whichever y'all want to go with. Let's hop in his Bible. Little update. My birthday was 12 days ago. Hi. Are they twins? I love twins. I keep seeing twins everywhere. Hi. What? I really want twins. Was it like hard?
It's always hard.
Did they argue at all?
Oh yeah, all the time. But they love each other. They're best friends.
Wow.
Okay, I gotta unlock it for you.
You guys, I keep seeing twins everywhere. That's my dream. Let me make sure I stay on topic because we're not here to get off topic. On the topic of my birthday, now I'm not fasting. I can tell you guys, I fasted all the days leading up to my birthday. I don't know what it was. I think it was just knowing like something needed to change and like quickly. I never uploaded that video. I dropped on change, hitting that realization my senior year. But basically, I used to think change was something that would happen based on perfection. And on a certain day, as long as you make up your mind that will be on this day, on this time, this age, it's gonna happen. Baby, is this a prank? Because that's not how change works. Change is growing, change is gradual, change is progressing, change is progress. And for me to think it was just something that would happen just this one day because you're this new age or in this new location or that's really delusional. I'm always clocking like delusion. That's a lie. That's not how change works. Yes, I said this birthday I want something to change, but I haven't done anything to work towards the change or the person I want to be. I took those couple of days, not exactly isolated because sometimes fasting is not isolation. Fasting can be something you're called into while also life is happening. Maybe God just wants you to slow down and take a moment. Maybe he has a couple things to teach you. What I really want to do is go through each day and what I learned while also reflecting on these myself because I haven't had the time all throughout this past week to literally slow down and look over everything I learned while fasting. As I got out of fasting, I went straight into sickness. I thought I was called for a 10-day fast. Around like the 4th day, I realized it might not be a 10-day fast. Not because I messed up. That's a lesson for a different day. but because something just gave me a feeling like it might not be 10 days that you're supposed to fast for. It's crazy because by the end of that week, my body started to feel out of it. I don't think my fasting is what caused my sickness because I actually was diagnosed with the flu, but I had to leave work early that one day. This is around like the 5th day of the fasting. So God already knew before I thought I was going to do 10 days that I was only going to do like 5 days. Journaling is not something I'm for sure gonna make a good habit. What even led into this fast? Because when I say I realized I needed something to change, but I was in Shaw Rare, here's what I told God exactly. I said, I feel so overwhelmed. I spend more time thinking about what I want to do instead of doing it. I procrastinate so much. It is way easier to blame time or the weather, but the truth is it's me. I would rather distract myself and do what's easy. I have so many thoughts and ideas just to be sitting in it. My head feels heavy. It feels like I have a million open tabs that I just stare at. Then the due date passes because I lied to myself that it will never be the right time. I want to be disciplined. I want to stand for something. I can't keep living this way. I want to keep myself moving and my hands busy. I need to be one thing at one time. I can't be everything and everywhere at once. I need to stop being so hard on myself and just live. Oh my goodness. This is so important because in this certain time frame, this is exactly how I felt. I want to stand for something. I can't keep living this way. I had a million open tabs in my head at once. And people in the world are so quick to victimize something and try and diagnose you with something. No, seriously, I need help. It's something that needs to be studied, not something that needs to just be diagnosed and give someone medicine and call it a day. No, you need to reverse it. So the first thing into like this change or transition is realizing I need help. You have to get hungry. This was March 16th, 2026. So this is a couple days before. So even after I wrote this down, not until a couple days later did I actually make the change or transition. Did I actually like one day like just be like, lock in, you're about to fast, right? First day of fasting is usually the highs where you feel like, oh, I'm just so in this, like nothing can stop me, you know, I got it. So we're on day 2 of the fasting where I actually start realizing, oh, I need to journal this down. This was the lesson. Growth is required with change. Trying to stay the same as you are changing will keep you stagnant. The first thing to the growing aspect is just taking the perfection out of it. Perfection is a lie. No one is perfect. There will be no perfect day, no perfect weather to start or do anything. You just do it. Perfection is a scam. It's false. It's a lie. That's not true. Nothing is literally perfect but God. For me to start fasting, I had to take perfection out of it. I'm not sure if I did start on a Monday. I'm not sure if it was the perfect day. You have to take the image of what perfection looks like out of it. As I'm reading back on the day after day 2, so now day 3, there's a couple lessons going through my head. I'm not sure where this like stands with discipline. It basically says, I was reading Luke 6:12-13. A key lesson that stood out to me is that we must stay hungry for you always. We can never settle for a current life or think we have met the best version of ourselves. And I mentioned how we must stay teachable. And to me, I think discipline is learning. There was a part in that verse that was like, we're in trouble if we think life is fun and games. There's suffering to be met and you're going to meet it. I'm not sure if that had to do specifically with in the journey. You're not promised every day being good. Fasting or not, in this life, you're not promised every single day being good. I'm a big question asker. I'm not going to come on here like I know all the answers. I think that's the difference between teaching and ministering. Teaching is we're all sitting here having a conversation, asking questions. Ministering is here's the word and I'm going to preach it to you. You're kind of like reading your Bible. Here's God's word. You can't change it. Teaching is the talking, the discussing it. And honestly, we're all here to learn. So I asked God, I said, I'm not sure how to look at this verse. Are you ensuring us long suffering? Are you saying no matter what, we're all going to suffer? Or are you saying that although we do have good days, we will also experience pain? Or even in the process of discipline and really like learning it or whatever, or being in it, we're going to go through terrible phases. I don't know, or not taking life for granted. You know, there's multiple interpretations of that. So if anyone can talk to me in the comments, let me know. I thought this video was going to be about being present and being content. I think that is maybe the next video after this. I don't know. But the next idea I had was discipline, grace, and being a slave to what you spend your time doing. I'm reading my very third day of my fast. I'm going over with God how getting comfortable, whether that be in life or from what God is trying to get you to stop doing or unlearn, will cost you. Yes, God is forgiving, compassionate, and graceful, but you will still pay physical consequences for your actions. God is a jealous God. He doesn't want us to worship any other gods / idols but Him. Back then, idols were figures people would make that looked similar to animals. Now, things we worship are our phones, lust, porn, money, and so on. They're so subtle, but they control people's lives, time, body. Yesterday, I realized you are a slave to what you devote your time to and what has you. I'm going to play you guys a video that better describes. I think today's when I realized this is not where I want to be. You are a slave to where you spend your time. If anyone tells you differently, they're lying. I was talking to somebody the other day at my job. They said, why are you in my section? And I was like, nothing here is yours. Not the clothes you have on your body, not your time, how you can speak, where you're at, anything you own here. Like, nothing here is yours. And I'm starting to realize my job has me in an actual, like, chokehold. I'm a slave to my job. I'm starting to realize that. And people that work even more hours than me full time, I think that's crazy. And I've been coming here every single day of the week. And yes, you can make it better by doing something you enjoy, but that doesn't change the fact that you are a slave to what has most of your time. Have you ever lived if you are literally always working, doing yes what you love, but for money, just to... That part. I took a step back and I realized, put me being scheduled day. I be picking up some of these shifts for money that I don't even use. And I tell myself, yes, I love my job, but that doesn't change the fact that that's where it has me physically all the time. Especially on Sundays. Like I would purposely pick up shifts on Sundays because I don't want to go to church. This specific church, actually, that my family goes to. So that's a whole different thing, but I promise I enjoy church. I enjoy fellowship. I love the community of it. I'm not an anti-church. Not only did God show me the importance of church and having an altar, but then He also showed me the importance of the Sabbath day, having one day where you dedicate it to Him, which is what from now on I spend my Sundays doing, and I'm never working on Sundays either. Anyways, I would purposely try to spend as much time in this place with these people. I think with the fasting, yes, I spiritually, what no one else can see, was devoting myself to God. But physically, I know what has all my time. And back to day one when I said, this is my first time devoting my time, my body, my mind, all to you. That's what it felt like, because I was at my job that day not fully like present with my body and thinking about God and praying the whole time. So I wasn't really doing my job as much. That was my first time doing that. That's why I felt that way. That was one of the lessons you can add. Having a job is not a bad thing. God is not against you having a job, but taking away from His time with you, your time with yourself, and idolizing it and your relationships there, that's where it's like, oh, but God for sure did it for a reason. I think those days He made me sick purposely, where I had to leave work, feel like I let people down. It was on purpose. That's why He didn't say nothing. He didn't say nothing because I didn't know what He was doing then, but I know, I understand, and there's a Bible verse about that also. And there's so many things here in this world we idolize. Some people work for money. That job I go to all the time, they do it for the money. I know I don't work there for the money because I'm there for the relationships of it. I'm starting now to realize, like, my job is just a job. My coworkers don't have to be my friends. It doesn't have to go past this building that we all have to be here in. But me trying to make my job my whole life, there's nothing wrong with hanging out with your coworkers outside of work, but trying to purposely, like, let these people saturate every area of my life, that's where God knew, oh girl. And these aren't even people we all align sometimes. You start to consider being lenient on your boundaries and who you are. But really, these are things that if you spent more time with yourself, like, this is a no. If you spent more time outside of work, like, these things are a no. I hope everything I'm saying makes sense. Some things aren't as obvious as, like, phones, some things aren't as obvious because for me it was my job, but it was really like subtle, but it was there. It was taking up my time. I was purposely picking up shifts and never having time to myself to learn and discover all that pain I went through. Yes, it was horrible, but it sure did mess with my schedule for a little bit. It gave me time to slow down, take a step back. He can take it all away in a split second. That was also the first time I realized if one day my body gives out on me, I'm probably cooked. That's why we have empathy to those who are sick, because your body's slowly giving out on you, or it instantly gave out on you. And regardless, that's like really bad. We don't realize how dependent we are on our body to function and the physical aspect. Since ever, I always go through spiritual warfare. It's all in my mind, what people can't see. This is the first time I had to physically like go through something that was connected to my spiritual and a lesson I had to learn. I physically watched my body give out and feel like it was the end of the world. That stuff is real. So crazy the extent God goes to teach us lessons and we don't understand at the moment. I could have gotten this lesson sooner and make this video, but I didn't. I was actually mad at God for those couple of days. I can go to 2 days before my birthday when I was put on my bed rest, and I'm literally mad at God. I'm like, why didn't you answer? I'm begging you to stop this pain. I don't know why I'm going through it. I could have completed my fast. You were so powerful, but you can't stop this pain in my forehead right now. I was just so angry. I was angry. I was angry at God. We're humans that feel emotions that feel so heavy and real at the time we're feeling it. This is now third, fourth day, I'm not sure. This is when God is really bringing my flesh out, calling out my fruits. This day talks about the fruits of the Spirit, me learning clarity about the Sabbath day because it's something he was trying to give me knowledge about. He knew I was going to come to this realization of not picking up any more shifts on Sunday and taking the Sabbath day holy. My ambition, feeling the need to work and make a name for myself. I've gone over the idea of being perfect, but I have to get it right. When I say I love my job, that's also sometimes a crazy statement to people, but I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy being of service to people. I enjoy having a conversation where I leave at least one important lesson with someone, something like that. I enjoy the communication part of my job. So when I say that, that's exactly what I'm talking about. I have this thing where if I do anything for no reason, no meaning, nothing behind it, in vain, then that doesn't sit right with me. Everything I do has to have some type of importance, and that's where my work is to me, helping people. So I was saying I have to get it right. I can't come on this earth and live a life that doesn't count for anything. So I have this ambition and this fear of living a life that doesn't count for anything. All Christianity aside, not every conversation I have to have with someone has to be about God, even though it ends up all the time because God is literally inside of me and I have this light that you can't dim. And having a conversation with someone where I am a good impression on them through a service, something I said, that is enough for me. Because my life had meaning, I was able to pass something on. I was able to do something good to help someone else rest of their life, or I was able to be someone that someone else tells someone about. If I don't succeed and my life counts for nothing, that's when I feel true failure. That's when I feel unsuccessful. If I never complete the assignment you have for me because I was scared of growing, I will never forgive myself in this life and after this one. I said put religion aside, but like dead, like Christianity is my life. God is my life. So God in it, because God is usually always in it. If I don't ever do complete the assignment he has for me, like besides me being a good person and leaving an impact and doing everything in meaning, but now in meaning with God, if I never do like his assignment because he puts meaning in life and I'm just a vessel, I won't forgive myself. That's how deep it was. I go into all the convictions I felt because God will always usually call out your fruits when you're fasting. I go into all the fruits and everything I've been struggling with in learning how to show myself grace because I usually be feeling bad after I do something bad. Like no one can come into God's presence and stay the same. Yes, your flesh exists and oh my gosh, I just had a very bad moment of anger, I'm talking about the fruits. When God works on you in fasting, it's usually stuff at the depths of your soul, not the really obvious ones that you think this is just a bad day for me. No, I'm talking about the ones that deep in your heart, it hit a button that you didn't think anyone would touch in a while. And that's where God is. He brings out bad fruits that you didn't know were still there. So we're getting to the end of this. My very 5th day, I remember messing up, and here's where grace came into. I accidentally ate a fry an hour before I was supposed to break fast. I felt the devil try to make me feel like instant self-condemn, I might as well just eat the whole thing, and you failed, you disappointed God. But then God instantly caught me. I thank God for that. So grace is something I struggle to have on myself. I am so self-condemning. I'm probably my biggest critique. I thank God for teaching me to have grace on myself now. Even right now, I'm not mad at myself for not feeling that good again, because we just got out that season of sickness. As I continue reading, even after the 5th day, like I said, I was angry at God. So let me show you what my page looked like when I'm angry. We go from, this was the day before, and then this is the when I'm angry. People act like knowing God is not a relationship. It's a relationship. Not like my feelings should be idolized or should be put over my actions, but I was angry. Do you want me to lie or do you want me to tell you the truth? And I was just asking God. I had to leave work early yesterday because I felt so depleted. I cried out your name for the pain to stop and nothing happened. Why is that? I was waiting for an answer. 31. This is now 2 days I didn't talk to him. April 1st, I'm asking God, I'm so tired, I'm so burnt out. This is not the way I want to live. I don't understand the setbacks of life. I was doing so good a couple days ago. I was on a streak that set me up to be the best version of myself by today. You see that little ideology of having a day for it? Like, I'm not real, bro. Then I got terrible sick. I cried out for you to help me get better. In that moment, I still felt pain. 2 days later, I felt better. Not perfect, but enough to get up for my birthday. I understand it was not by my own will. I got up, but those days being sick set me back. I think I still have this thing of a streak. I do understand progress is slowly but surely. I want to keep moving, surely. I was basically telling God, like, I'm super hungry for it, and I want to keep moving, but you gave me time to slow down and take a step back. Why? If I was on a streak of doing good and I calculated this out to where I'm not saying instantly on this day I will change, but I'm working towards it, and now you basically put me on bed rest and said stop. For what? For what, baby? We got more days to go and I want to get it done, and I'm hungry. And I was telling him, when they say you're just not hungry enough for it, I was hungry, y'all. I got hungry. You know when I got hungry? Fasting. I got hungry. Now I want it bad. I want the discipline bad, and you're telling me to stop? But I didn't know what he was doing at this time, and I was still thankful. I was like, I understand it was not by my own will I got up any of those days, but I felt like being sick set me back, period. At least I was able to get up on my birthday. My birthday was Tuesday. Wednesday, Thursday, I also had it off. I just had more time to, like, sit and think. I still didn't understand why I got sick in the first place. I don't know why I had to get sick. I feel so much pain when I was just learning discipline within myself. I felt so close to a turnaround. I feel like I was taken back to a vulnerable state. I could do nothing but sit in bed because I was so fatigued. I had nothing to do but doom scroll, which I'm not proud of. I just didn't know what to do with my time on bed rest. And I think that's also learning grace. Like, hey, you can make mistakes. Or my body can give out on me and I can let my body rest. I want to be better and I'm hungry for it. You know my heart, you see me, and I want to be favored. You really can never learn how God works because you don't know. Your brain is limited to whatever your knowledge is of the situation at that time. You cannot predict. You're not a necromancer. Ooh, my school been teaching me new words, y'all, if you can't tell. I'm getting better at public speaking and just not adding a lot more filler words, which I'm really proud of. I've pretty much touched on everything I want to touch on. Whenever I think I know exactly what I'm going to come on here and talk about, I never talk about that. God always takes the wheel. And I'm so sorry we didn't get to pray at the start of the video, so we're going to pray. Father God, I thank you so much. I thank you so much for your presence. I thank you so much for all that you continue to do. I thank you for my limited knowledge. I thank you for choosing me to even still be a vessel. Thank you for me not being equipped and you giving me the equipments. I thank you that I will continue to grow. I thank you for this community on YouTube that you are giving me. I thank you for not being perfect. And I thank you that there is no thing that's perfect on this earth, oh God. I pray that as this YouTube channel continues to grow, these videos will reach all the right people. I myself will become more consistent. In Jesus' name I prayed, amen. That will be in the vlog. That prayer, that was so prophetic. I felt his presence spraying that. I was gonna go over how this morning I tried to come up here and look good because I was on a streak of looking good too. I didn't ever want y'all to have to see my scarf and how I'd be looking in school, but just know this is me still like dressed up and not taking this for granted.
'Cause I spent my whole life searching desperately to find out that grace requires nothing. Grace requires nothing.
Always here. Why am I getting emotional?